Hello, this is Edos from the Website Design Altitude, and in this segment of our HTML domination training, we are going to be putting it all together. So we're going to be practicing all we've learned so far, and we're going to go over each things we've learned up to this point. And by now, you should be able to design a website, even if it's not a very good-looking website, but you should be able to design a website to an extent. So without wasting much of our time, let's head over to our Sublime Text editor. Alright, so we're already in our Sublime Text, and what we're going to do is we're going to create a new file. Then we save it as putting it all together .html. Always remember to add .html so you let your web browser know that this is a web page. So we click on save. Okay, so now remember in the beginning what I told you was when you are designing an HTML page, web page, and you are using Sublime Text. So what you do is you type HTML, then on your keyboard you hit the tab button, so it will just write the code you need to create a full web page. Okay, you type HTML, then you hit tab. Let me do it again. You type HTML, then tab. So this is a full web page, and we're going to be adding some other elements to our web page. So what to do is to go ahead and put the title for our website. You can just call this putting it all together. Okay, that's going to be the title of our web page. Then, if you remember, if you could recall, we talk about HTML header tags. That's H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, H6. Okay, we use this in making headings. So we talk about this. H1, then our paragraph tag, the break tag. Okay, and also talk about H2. So this is H2 header tag. Okay, then our paragraph tag, the break tag. Okay, type BR, then you hit tab on your keyboard, so it's going to write that for you automatically. Then we also talked about how to insert image into our web page. So remember the tag for inserting image into our web page? You remember? Well, if you say img angle bracket img source, then angle brackets, you'll be right. Then the source, remember the source. In this source we talk about absolute link, putting an absolute link into this source. Then we can also use the local link. The absolute link is actually a full web address. Then local link, let's say image.jpg. I have this image in my folder, so I'll save it. Then let's go ahead and preview it. Desktop, HTML. Right click, then I'll open it in my web browser. I'll use Chrome. See, so these are H1 header tag, then H2 header tag. The reason why this space is here, this big space is here, is because we use two break tag. You see, 1, 2. So if I want to reduce space, I'll remove 1, and here too I'll also remove 1. Then let's save it and preview it. Say, then let's see where it goes. Refresh. See, it actually reduced. So that's that. Then we have H2, H3, H4, H5, H6, and so on for our header tags. Then we also talked about how to resize images. Okay, using the width, you can say 500 pixel. The height, you can say 400 pixel. Then let's save it. By default, it's in pixel, but you can add pixel to it. But I don't usually add it. So you click on save. Then we refresh. You see, we've been able to resize our image. So that's that about images. Then we also talk about links. We talk about how to links, how to create a link. So let's say, for instance, we want to link our web page to another page on our website. Remember the HTML code you use? You use the A tag, the anchor tag. Okay, this is how you write it. When you're using, the beauty of using the Sublime Text is that you just get to write the beginning of the tag, the beginning of the tag name, then you hit the tab, tab button on your keyboard, and it will write the code for you automatically. So the hyperreference, this attribute called hyperreference, is the location. Is the location for your link. So I can say google.com. I want when somebody click here, it takes them to google.com. So when someone clicks on this link, okay, it takes that person to google.com. So let's save it and see. Save. So I'm going to refresh. You see the link here. Click. My network is poor, so I'll just, because my internet connection is actually poor, so what I'll do is I'll right click and open in a new tab, so you see the link. You see it will actually take us to google.com when the link is clicked. So that's, then we talk about an attribute called target blank. And this target blank, instead of me right clicking then open a new tab, we can just write a code that when people click on this link, it will automatically open a new tab. And the code you use in writing that is target underscore blank. Then click on save. So let's refresh our page. You see, when I click on this link now, it will automatically open this link in a new tab. You see, so that's how we use the link. Okay, that's how we use link in HTML. And we also talked about on ordered lists, the UL tag. Okay, you use the UL tag to create an ordered list. So inside your UL tag, you use the LI tag to make list of item. Okay, let's say coffee. Then you can say tea. You can say milk. Okay, so let's save it and see. Save. Then we'll refresh. You see? So we've made an unordered list. And remember we said we can actually change this rounded dot to square. Then we can change the rounded dot to a white rounded dot. And we can decide not to use any dot. And we use an attribute called style in doing that. So to the UL tag we say style, because this type where you can say square. So let's save it and see what it looks like. See, it has changed to square. It was circle before. It was black dot before, so it has changed to square. So another one can use we can also change this to circle. So let's go and save and see the way it looks. Refresh. So you see it has changed to a white circle. Then we also talk about removing the bullets. Okay, we can just set it, but when we don't want these bullets to appear, we can just set it to none. Then come here, file, then save. So let's refresh. You see, the bullet is gone. So I'll just take it back to square. So that will be all about an ordered list. Then we talk about ordered list. Okay, remember we use the OL tag in creating an ordered list. Then inside this OL tag we use LI tag to make the list of items we want. Okay, here I can say pasta, for instance. I can say ice cream or stick, for instance. I'm making a list of things I would like to buy. Then I can say price. So let's take a look at that. So when we refresh this, you see we now have an ordered list. This is ordered list. Okay, so remember another thing we say we can do, we can also change this 1, 2, 3 into ABC. So the way we do that is inside this OL tag is an attribute called type. We can say A. Then we'll say A is going to be in alphabetical order. You see, ABC. Then we can also change it to a capital letter A. Then let's save it and see. So you see, it's now in capital letter ABC. Then remember we also said we can also use Roman numeral. So let's refresh that and see. So it's now in Roman numeral. I can also change it into a capital letter for the Roman numeral. Then I'll say save. Then we'll refresh. So that's all about ordered list and unordered list. We also talk about table. Table. So let's do a little bit of revision here. And remember, when we are creating a table, we use the table tag in creating a table. Then inside this table, we use the table row tag to create a row. Okay, then we create a table head inside our table row. This table head, I can say serial number, or I'll say name, table head. Then I'll say another table head. I'll say mobile for mobile number. Then I can say sex to know whether the person is a male or a female. Then under it, we'll create another row under it. TR. We say TD for table data. Name. I'll say John. Then another table data. Mobile number, we enter and mobile number. Okay. Then for sex, I will enter another table data. I'll say male. So let's go ahead and preview it. Let's save and preview our table. Refresh. So you see, we now have a table here. And remember, we also said we can increase the size of our table. Okay, we can increase the size of our table by using the attribute called width. You can say 500 pixels. Then I'll save. Save. Then I'll refresh. You see? So now space. But if you notice, there's no border for our table. So we can actually use an attribute called border inside this table tag. Border, I can say 1 pixel. Then let's save. Then let's refresh. See, we now have border around our table. Okay. So if I want to create space in between this name and the cell, remember I said we can use cell padding, an attribute called cell padding, to give space in between the content of a cell and the border. So I'll say cell padding. I can say 10 pixels. Then I'll save. Then let's refresh and see. You see, we now have space between our border and the content, between the cell and the content of the cell. Then we also talk about that will be all for table. Then we also talk about form. Form. And remember, form is used for collecting data, user data on our website. So we use the attribute called form to create a form. Then inside our form tag, we use different form elements like the input, select, text area, and button. So if we're using input, okay, input, remember input has different type. We have email, for instance. Okay, so I can just say email. Then let me start with name. I'll say input. I'll say text for name. Okay, then I'll break it so it falls on a different line. Then I can say type submit. No, sorry, that was a mistake. I'll say button. I can say type. Something's wrong. Okay, so let's take for instance to add a submit button here. I'll just say input type submit. So I can say save, then let's refresh. See, we now have a form here. So if someone feed in their name and their email address here and click on submit, it will be submitted to my website. So in order for the form to be submitted to me, there's inside this form tag there's an attribute called action. So this action I'll specify where it's going to be submitted. So I can say it should be submitted to, let's say for instance google.com, or no, let's say it should be submitted to one of my page contacts.html. So when I save this now and refresh, when someone tries to fill this form, let me add space between this table and the form. Table, right? Okay, table. I'll say break, then I'll save it. So there's a space now. I can say name, submit. It's going to be submitted to the contact page. Makes sense? So that's how you use HTML4. Then we'll also talk about iframe. Remember I told you iframe is used in displaying other people's websites on our website. So here the source is where you enter the website URL. Let's say for example I want to display Google website on my page. So I'll just save, then come here, then refresh. Then Google will display it here. This is why I refuse to connect is because we've not yet uploaded our website to the internet. So I'd like to add space between this form and the iframe. So we can also So we can also resize this iframe by using the width and height attributes. So you can say width, I can say 500. Let me use 500 pixels. Then height, I can say height 500 pixels. Then I will save. Then I'll refresh. You see, we now have a bigger frame. So that will be all, my friend, and I look forward to seeing your work. And I want you to go through this course like 3-4 times if you're not clear with anything. When you do that, it enables you to master what you've learned. So even though we've not yet started building a beautiful website, but this is just the foundation. With this foundation now, you can start beautifying your website using CSS in the CSS mastery course. So I look forward to seeing you in the CSS mastery course. And when you design a website, reach out to me and I will applaud you and correct you or help you with any challenges you may be facing. So I'll see you in the next course. Bye for now.